Alright, hello everybody. This is Courtney here with Fiber Fox Studios, and I'm coming back real quick just to do a short little video to show you guys what I mean about sewing up the sides, just in case someone might need help with that. I know not everybody is experienced with doing garments and stuff like that, so I figured I'll go ahead and do a quick little video on it. So this one right here, I'm going to get as much of this in camera as I can. This is the mini version that I did for the tutorial to show you guys what it looks like. You're going to have a piece that has identical front and back sides, and you are going to be already joined along here at your top edge. So hopefully you can tell there's my neck opening head hole, and then I'm already joined all along the top edge. And when you lay your piece down flat, you'll see that it lines up pretty easily on its own. But the larger the piece is, the more you might need to go ahead and use stitch markers to mark along these edges. So we're going to be joining this edge right here. So right along the side here, we're going to join our sleeve and down our side. You can leave slits on the end of yours. I left about a 3-inch slit on each side of mine. You don't have to, but if you're doing a plus size, I do kind of recommend those. Most of us do have, you know, hips and thighs and stuff in the plus size community. So, you know, the extra room can't hurt. It's the way I figure it. So you don't have to, though. It's completely up to you. If you like how yours is fitting, you can do whatever you want. So we're going to go ahead and get started. It's pretty easy to do. I just recommend you using the stitch markers because when the piece is a lot larger, it's a lot harder to keep it all lined up as you're working. So I have placed the stitch marker just a few in here on the sleeve area. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's a little pink one. And then the main place that I want to point out to place a stitch marker is right here where your sleeve meets your body. So right there in your armpit area, basically. I marked there on each one of these that I've done. I've got another one that I'll be showing later that I've got to sew up. And then, of course, along the side, as many as you need. Your piece is going to be quite a bit bigger than this, so kind of keep that in mind. It makes it a lot easier to sew it up on the side or to join the side seams. So now to join your side seams, you can use a blunt end darning needle if you like, or you can do exactly like I do, which I'm going to use the same crochet hook that I've been using. Obviously, you're going to be using your same yarn. And I do a single crochet join. So we're going to be starting over here in this bottom corner of our sleeve. So it's already joined up here at the top. We're already joined up here. And we're just going to be joining right here the bottom edge of our sleeve. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my yarn and put a slip knot on my hook, and go ahead and show you guys where to join in. So let's take a look at our project. I'll bring it up a little bit closer. Now this end right here is either gonna, it's a, it should be for you if you followed my pattern, you will most likely have a chain 5 right here at the end, or a chain is the main point that I'm trying to make. So in this chain, you're just gonna count up 1, 2, and 3 from the bottom, and that is where you're gonna insert your hook. I have a chain 5 here. So the point is, if you take a look, we're just finding our bottom corner. That's all. So hopefully you guys can see that. Probably should have put down my white background, but I didn't think about that, so I apologize. So over here on this side, I have the same thing. I have a chain 5 over here on this side. So I'm counting up from the bottom, 1, 2, and 3, counting those V's. And I'm going to go in to that third V. So if you take a look now and turn it this way, I am right there in the bottom corner of my project. So at this point, you can go ahead and turn your work however you need to be able to work. And of course, I did that all in reverse, so I just slipped it back in. So we're going to go ahead and join on our yarn now. We're going to just do a simple single crochet all along the side here, and you can remove the stitch markers as you go. And I'm going to go ahead, in my case, I'm doing the slip knot and doing the single crochet, but you of course can always do just a simple whip stitch or something to join your sides up. Completely up to you. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up that loop that I've got on my hook, and I'm going to grab my tail and my working yarn, and I'm going to do a chain, just one chain, so a chain 1. And now from here, I'm going to be able to go back down into that same third stitch, and I'm going to do my first single crochet. And this time I'm going to go ahead and let my tail drop. So I'm just working with my working yarn at this point. So from here, all we're going to do is find a loop on each side of our project, and we're going to go into that loop. And we're going to just go ahead and pull up a loop and complete a single crochet. Nice and easy. So I don't worry too much about how many loops I'm getting into when I'm sewing up a project on the side. I just kind of let it, just whatever I can easily go into is where I'm going to go. And I make sure that I don't double stack my stitches. So what I mean by that is I just placed a single crochet right there. I don't want to accidentally go back in there and do another single crochet. So I just make sure that I'm moving on to the next stitch right there to the side, grabbing a loop on each side and doing a single crochet. So I just continue on in that same way, and now that's forming that little ridge. So this will now be the inside of my project. So when I am finished, I'll turn it out so that my right side is, facing back out again. And then I will have a defined inside, right side, wrong side to the project. So if you do your whip stitch or something like that, you probably will not be able to tell where you've joined. So you would be able to wear this, anyway. You wouldn't have to worry about making sure that you have your seam hidden on the inside. So you're just going to continue in that same manner all the way down the side of your project. And once you get to the end, you can decide, the end of your body panel, you can decide at that point if you want to leave a slit or not. And if you do, you'll just stop at a certain point. Then you're going to go to the other side and mark it out in the same way and make sure that you are leaving the same amount of space for your slit if you're doing that on the other side. And I'll show you real quick. I'm just going to join a few more. I'm going to show you really quickly what it looks like when we turn this back out. So you can't really see the seam. It's not bulging up on this side. If you do a whip stitch, you're going to have, it's not going to be quite as bulky. But I just feel like you don't get the same stretch and pull at the seam. So it's really up to you what you prefer. Obviously, this is going to be on the inside of your arm. And your sides right here are going to be on the inside of your body. Your arm's going to hide it most of the time. So let's go ahead and show real quick how you will mark for a slit. So let's say we're going to do a slit on this. And let's say in my case, I was just going to do one pattern. So I wanted to leave a slit that's just one pattern, one repeat of the pattern in length. So I would mark over here where I'm choosing to do my slit, and I would actually put it in to one of those stitches. So in this case, I'm going to say I'm going to go to where this row right here is beginning, right here. And I'm going to mark there on that side for my slit. And then I'm going to identify the same exact stitch over here, right there, on this side. And I'm going to mark there. So when I take a look, I'm nice and evenly marked on both sides. And then all I need to do, make sure that my corner over here is lined up. And then you can fold your project over and mark in the same place over here using this as a guideline, or you can just count up the number of stitches. You can measure a certain amount of space. It's pretty easy to do. In my case, since I decided to do one pattern repeat is my, my guideline for where I'm going to place my slit, I can always identify the start of that previous row. So I'm able to go in right there on this side. And then when I look at this panel, kind of stretch my work out, I can see I'm going to be putting my stitch marker right there on that side. And when you do that, wherever you choose, you're going to just make sure you mirror that on the other side, and you'll sew down to that point or do a single crochet down to that point. So that's all you need to do to join this thing up. It is super, super simple. And as you can see over here, I'm getting a nice even join. It's looking very easy, or very nice, I mean. So even if I were to accidentally, if my niece were to accidentally wear this on the wrong side, at least it won't look too bad, right? So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed this tutorial. Hopefully you have found this little extra tidbit of how we go about joining our sides to be helpful. If there is any questions at all, please feel free to leave me a comment below. I try to check for questions very, very frequently. And I appreciate you guys watching as always. Until next time, have a good one. Bye.